I want to use this opportunity to appreciate everyone that have been congratulating me on my new apartment. Thank you very much. May God richly bless you. Now, I want to give you the breakdown on how I got this apartment, on how this apartment is now my own. So just listen and let me give you the breakdown. Probably it will encourage somebody, all right, to start from somewhere. In 2023, then I was still living in one room in Karo village, and I stayed in that one room for 8 years. Now in 2023, I met my wife. Then she was my girlfriend, so I met her. So she said she would like me to move out of that one room. I said okay, that would be nice. So we started making arrangements on how to move out from that one room. I looked for house several places in Abuja here. The house was so expensive. Yes, very, very expensive. So, and whichever house we even see, and if we approach either the owner or the management in charge of that house, they will say they don't want to give young boys house because they don't trust their source of income. That they want to give the house to civil servants that can renew rent. They don't want problem with their tenants. I say okay. So after because of that frustrations, I asked another person. The person introduced me to this estate that I should come to this estate. There must be a vacant building. There must be a vacant house. Probably I can rent here. So when I came here, they they gave me two-bedroom flat. Then two-bedroom flat was just like 700,000 naira. Then so 700K, that's okay, no problem. I paid for the house. And 2 days later, they called me to come and collect my money back because the landlord said they don't want anybody that they don't know his source of income. They don't want to give him an apartment. That specifically, they want to give the apartment to a civil servant that can renew. I was so frustrated, very, very frustrated. Then my wife advised me to move to Lagos. Then I said, okay, if I will move to Lagos, I don't know anybody in Lagos. How will I start? Then she said that will not be a problem, that her brother is in Lagos. So I said, okay, I think that would be a good idea. Then I moved to Lagos. When I moved to Lagos, I stayed with her brother for 1 month before I got my own apartment. Now, there was a man in this estate that the Rihanna, yes, he stayed in this estate. I think he bought house in this estate also. So there was a time he came to Lagos with his family just to relax. They went to the beach. So he called me that he is in Lagos. I said, okay, which side? He said African Beach. So I left my house and I met him there. So we were discussing. Then I asked him that this is like 2024. Then I asked him, that estate that you people are in now, I really love that place, because that estate is so nice, clean and serene. How do people get apartments in that estate? He said, if I really need an apartment in that estate, that I should not worry, that he will look out for me. But that as at then, all the apartments in that estate is sold out. But time to time, they used to build. So once they started building, he will inform me. I said, okay. So I waited. Then after some time, he called me that they've started to, that he will give me a contact of the sellers. I said, wow, that is nice. Then he gave me the contact and I contacted them. So they told me the price, and by the special grace of God, I paid, because here they don't sell land, right? They will just build and sell. And how they build it, they will not do finishing. This POP you are seeing here now, they are not the one that did it. The house come with PVC. Some rooms doesn't have ties. All right, the rooms doesn't have ties, PVC, and there's no floor. They don't floor their ground, no fence, no water. So you will be the one now to put the house to your test. So when I got the apartment, And also the Daddy Rihanna also introduced me to one of the trusted engineer. That engineer is so nice. So when I connected to the engineer gave me quotation. So I was doing these things bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit. And any money I got, I would just send the money there. Send the money here. So they were arranging it. We first of all we did borehole. After the borehole, we start the fencing work. We bought gate. We did the POP and all of that, and started arranging here small, small, gradually, low key. Yes. So that is how I was able to get to this place. And I really want to thank God because it takes discipline for you to acquire something. Yes, it takes discipline. When I was in Lagos, if I'm doing my video, a lot of people will be insulting me that I'm wearing okreka. Not that I don't have the money to buy any kind of designer's clothes that I want. Something like this. Look at this guy. Whichever video I post, he will insult me that I am wearing okreka. This your okreka. Where did you buy this your okreka? In every of my comments, he will insult me. But it doesn't get to me because I know what I'm chasing. Okay, so that is it. Don't allow anybody to discourage you. Whatsoever you want to achieve in life, you can do it in as much as you are not distracted. If you don't allow anybody to distract you, you can achieve anything. And don't allow anybody to pressure you. Don't allow anybody to pressure you that your mates are buying cars, your mates are wearing designers clothes. Don't allow that. If not, if allow peer pressure, you will not come out of it. You will not even like it. That is just it. So thank you very much. Those of you that have been congratulating me, I really appreciate, and I pray the God that did it for me will also do it for you. Yes, God will do it for you. Thank you. I really appreciate. May God bless you.